Okay, so today I'm going to show you how to use your ChatGPT to really make sure that your business is going to run beautifully. And you're going to ask it not just questions, but you're going to ask it what not to do. I'm going to teach you exactly step by step how to make the ChatGPT actually work for you rather than just a bit of a scattergun approach. Okay, and I help women who are in full-time employment who wish to use the internet to create a second income that could potentially and hopefully become their full-time income. So either as a retirement plan or as a side hustle that's going to turn into their full-time hustle ASAP. And basically women who have tried to do a whole lot of stuff already, either, network marketing stuff or whatever, but they've tried online and they're really not getting anywhere. That is when they come to me. So keep watching and I'm sure you're going to get a lot of value out of this video. Keep watching to the end because at the end I give you a giveaway, which I'd love for you to have. All right, let's crack on. Okay, so step one, well, actually before step one, you have to have a paid ChatGPT. So you're going to have to pay for the first level of ChatGPT. If you just have a free version, you can't save projects, you're going to have to constantly start again. It is the biggest nightmare. And I promise you for like the $20 or whatever it is per month, it is the best money I think I have ever spent on anything ever. That's saying something, but honestly, it's worth it. Okay, so you cannot do this on a free version. If you're thinking you're going to do it on a free version, please just don't bother because it's not going to work for you. Okay, so please stop this video, sign up to your ChatGPT paid version. The cheapest one is fine, and then you're going to be using ChatGPT 5.1 to do what we do. Either pause this video or you can watch this through, make sure that you're loving what I'm going to teach you, and then you can go and pay for it, okay? Okay, so the first thing you're going to type in is, I want you to type in along the lines of, what do you, to a brand new ChatGPT, start a new chat, no matter what you've got in your ChatGPT. If you do already have a paid version, you're going to have a similar answer to what I had, which was my ChatGPT was saying, he already knows, I call mine and he, already knows a lot, okay? So, but if we were starting from scratch, this is what we need to know. So you're probably going to see more like this kind of thing. But I asked the question, and this will be in the description below, what do you really need to know about me or anyone starting out using you to understand me? That's a typo, about my business, my goals, and my challenges. Okay, I want you to start with that, and that is what you're going to get, something similar to this. So the 7 things I need to know, I didn't ask for 7, so that's obviously 7 categories that matter more than anything else. See, it already knows much more than me, obviously. So the 7 things I need to know to truly understand you and your business. 1, your vision. Okay, what do you actually want? Long, short-term goals, blah, blah, blah. And your offers. Who do you sell to? Why do you sell? If you don't know the answer to that, I want you to do the best you can for now. Your ideal audience, okay, who they are. This is something that you can work on with me on in my program, because this is something sometimes that my perfect customer, the person who I help, who I told you are women who are about 40, 50, even a bit older, who are in a job, who know they want to be doing an internet business. And that's who I help. So sometimes these ladies don't know exactly who their target audience would be, because to be honest, this is an age-old problem. This is a problem that happens across multi, businesses, because businesses sometimes can't see it from the point of view of their perfect customer. Okay, so anyway, I digress. So that is in one of my courses. I will teach you exactly who your ideal customer could be for you. So if you want help with that, obviously you can reach out. Your voice, your style, how you naturally communicate. So exactly how you want to feel, because you want this GPT to speak like you without you having to really constantly remember to say, please can you write it more like me? Please can you write it more like me? Okay, so this is important. Your tech systems, the stuff that you're using already. So what tech do you use so far? What things do you cannot stand to use or you wouldn't want to use, whatever, right? It'll prompt you through it all. Your current bottlenecks, where do you feel that you're really being slowed down in your business growth? Or how do you feel like your mission to make money on the internet is where is it going wrong? Be honest, try and work that out, okay? So it'll give you prompts. And if you don't know, you can just say, I don't know, can you give me some ideas of where it could be, all that kind of stuff. We'll do that in a minute. So then you've got your non-negotiables. So this is interesting. So no selling on video, for example, is one of my perfect customers' pet peeves, especially to begin with. They don't want to be doing videos. They don't want to be doing cold DMs to people. They don't want to have to spend hours and hours and hours doing it. They don't have hours and hours and hours, nor do they have the headspace for hours and hours and hours. And, this is just my thing, but this is the things that you will have as what your non-negotiables are. And anything is fine to say. The more you can say, the better. And then this question is quite cool. If I had these 7 categories from day one, I could shape. Oh, if I had. Yeah, exactly. So this is a good point. If I had, but it's not too late. It's never too late to go back and get started and tweak and to get going, because there's no point if you know you're going down the wrong road to keep going, only to find out A, it wasn't worth going down, B, it didn't work, there was a massive roadblock, C, you hate it, etc. Okay, so this is what we're going to do. I want you to pause this video and I want you to open your ChatGPT, your paid version, in another thing, and I want you to start. But what you're going to do is you're going to set aside realistically an hour to do this, probably half an hour minimum if you want to be quick. But if you can do as much detail as possible, you're going to get the most incredible result. Don't forget, what we're doing here is training a professional helper, mentor, coach, consultant, VA, everything else all in one. And you're doing it just in an hour. I mean, what? Not to mention they're on for you 24/7, and it's just the most incredible thing you can do. So I really do not stop this video and think, oh, that's too hard. It isn't too hard. If you actually want success in your online business, this is what you got to do. I promise you're going to love the effects that this is going to give you. Okay, so I'm going to either stop it or keep watching for now. And remember that you can reach out for help at any time, because we do all of this in our 10K club that we have, which allows you to go on to consider a 6-figure income online. This is what I want you to, I don't want to make money claims and I don't want to go down all that route. I just want you to know that this is what we're aiming for you. We want you to be able to retire when you want to do it on your terms. Okay, so pause it if you want to, or watch this through, and then this is what we're going to be doing next. By the way, what is absolutely life-changing and game-changing as well, which I never used to do, which I totally do now, is, depends on your personality, but I can type fast, but it doesn't mean I type fast enough. So the best thing to do is, when you're answering these questions, is first of all, I would say to the ChatGPT, I'm going to show it for you. What I want you to do now is to bear with me as I go through and answer all of these 7 things. But I don't want you to keep replying in between. I want to just answer the questions, all 7, before you come back to me with what we need next. Okay. Okay, so see how I've done that as a little, I just talk like, it gets it. So then I'm going to send that over. And then it's just a lot better, because otherwise it's going to keep on interrupting and be really annoying. So notice here now it's being told, I'll stay quiet until you tell me you've finished and you're ready for my response. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to literally do the same thing. Now, if you wish, you might want to take time to write this, because it might allow you to do it better. I personally like just speaking out loud, and that's how I'm going to do it, because it will flow more and I can just say a lot more quickly, and I can ramble on as I like to do, as you can tell, and it will be better result for me. But that's up to you to choose the which way. You can type it, you can even type it in a document, so you don't have to worry about constantly hitting return and it going. So you can type it in a document, then you can upload the PDF, so which is easy. At the bottom here you see add files, or you can obviously dictate, or you can type. Okay, so get on with that one now. Okay, so look at this. If I had these 7 categories from day one, I could shape your tone, content right in a voice that feels like you, design your funnel, all that stuff. Okay, right, well, too late now, but guess what, we're doing it now. So look at this, right? I have just gone through and answered all the questions. Look how long, blah 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 blah, all the stuff. And I have literally just blurted what I think into all of these. Look at this. Now he's going to say to me, I'm going to come back to help you, and I really want you to get exactly what you want to build, and I want you to have this perfectly. And that's what we want. We want the GPT to be so absolutely trained. Guys, take the time to do it. And it doesn't actually take that long, but just it'll get you excited about what you're going to have. So I've got to answer a few questions now, and then we're going to go on from new. I'm going to get a model of what my business should really look like. Okay, I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so I've told which of the three choices that I wanted to go for, and the three things which you might be interested to know is, it asked me, do I want to help women build an online income with automated systems? And it's an evolved premium version of the Woohoo, which is what I started with. Okay, so depending on when you're watching this. B, helping professional women build an online business, but using skills in automation, in AI tools, in content systems, and spending 1 or 2 hours a day. Okay. Or C, a hybrid of both, right? Now, let me tell you, I've chosen A, and the reason being that I love automation, and automation is what you need in order to have almost all the heavy lifting done for you, for me, the women that I want to teach, because we're busy. We've got a lot going on. I have got a full-time job. I have 3 dogs. Sorry, I don't. I have 2 dogs. I have 3 children, all grown up, but still needing me in certain, and I want to be still needed. I want to be in their lives as much as I possibly can, as much as they want me to be needed. I am a single mum, no big deal, but the point is and I do volunteer work for about 60 hours a month, as well as study, as well as go to my, religious stuff, as well as what else? My mum lives in Australia, so I've got, trips to see her, and I also love traveling, but I love taking my dogs on long walks each day. I love being healthy, all that stuff. So I'm just telling you that so you know the big picture of what I've got juggling with what I do, which is why not only do I want to create an automated system so incredibly slick, but I know it's possible to do a lot of the heavy lifting stuff using AI stuff and using software, because I use it. Okay, so that's what I've gone with, and I think you're going to find that that's what we have come up with. I'm sure when you're watching this video, you'll go, oh yeah, that's what we've already talked about, or oh yeah, okay. Or if you have no idea who I am and you're just seeing this for the first time, you can find my links below, whatever, and go through the funnel and you'll see all the stuff that we do. Okay, I'll see you in a second. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to say to it while it's thinking, which I'll type this in while it's thinking, is I want you, okay, thank you, but before we move on, I want you to be my sparring partner. By the way, you can just voice this, but I'm just going to do this. Okay, hang on 1 second. Okay, when I suggest an idea, I want you to ask me 3 to 5 questions that I haven't thought about. Okay, so I'll put it here. I'm going to put these in the document or whatever below, you'll find it. Okay, so, okay, thank you. But before we move on, I want you to be my sparring partner. This is still working, by the way. When I suggest an idea, your first response should be to ask me 3 to 5 questions that I haven't thought about. Counter-arguments, blind spots, or risks. So, i.e., we don't want it just to go, oh my gosh, Kirsty, that's just the best idea you have come up so far. Oh my goodness, you are amazing. Like, kind of that sort of thing. My GPT does not do that anymore, because from the very almost beginning of when I started using GPT, I taught my GPT, I don't want you to do that, because I don't want to be the best person on the earth. I'm not here to be praised. I'm here to be helped. So I don't want that. But so it is a lot better, but you do have to direct it. You do have to teach your GPT. I do not want you to be telling me everything is wonderful. I want you to be push back on everything you think you should be pushing back on. And it does do it. It probably could do it better, but it does it. But this is why you've got to ask these things. Okay, this is super cool and super important, because it's not just at the end. Like sometimes you do your whole prompt and it comes to the very end and it goes, would you like me to do this now? Or would you like me to do that now? And you're like, oh, wow. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that sounds amazing. Let's do that. You go down like rabbit holes with that. Whereas if we get them to do it at the beginning, so that you go, actually, yeah, that would be a better idea, rather than already doing the thing you said and then suggesting it and then having to kind of double back and then possibly go down the wrong way. Get them to suggest these things at the beginning, so that you are never, well, at least a lot less likely to have to undo what you've already done. Okay. I thought you might like to see this, because this is really cool. So my founder profile is here now, and I've just read it and it sounds absolutely perfectly spot on. And, these are my strengths, and they are exactly right. And when I did my explanation to the ChatGPT, the reason I like talking about it is because I go into all different things and it just clarifies it all and gets rid of all the mess and puts all the bits together. And then it's like, yep, this is it. And this is exactly it. Okay. So, my best zone of genius, creating systems that women can follow privately, quietly, and predictably without burning themselves out. Yep. To make an online income, I think he needs to add, but I think that just goes without saying. So, okay, so that's that. And then obviously I'm going to pop my prompt in before that I got, which I saved on a note. One other tip is I have like my two screens now. So I've got my main screen here, and then I've got my other one, so that I can kind of do a lot quicker. Because I'm very like super efficient, like to have things, all of that. So that's why AI and me get on like that. Okay, so I'm going to pop in this one. Okay, thank you. Before we move on, I want you to be my sparring partner, blah, blah, blah. Okay, we're just going to add that little bit in there just so it kind of knows, even though it's already done my bits and bobs. And occasionally, I'll just quickly show you, my GPT actually stopped. So it said it was about to, where is it? Hang on, so I'll go back here. I'll just show you what happened. So it stopped, it just didn't do anything, and it took ages to come back, and I'm like, what's going on? So I had already copied and pasted that little prompt, although it was only short. I didn't want to write it again. So I posted that on a note over there. And I said, are you still there? And it said, yes, continue. And I'm like, well, the last thing you said was, and I just copied their last whole thing so they don't forget. And then immediately, as soon as I posted that in, it came back straight away. So I don't know what had happened, but it was there. So just sort of, it's just a little tip for how you can make sure that you don't lose your whole entire flipping thing, Actually, if anything, probably what I should have done then was I'm not sure if you can with ChatGPT. I'm just going to see. I think you can see Control A on my Mac, copy, and I probably should have pasted that whole entire thing into a. Let me just see if I can paste it into a doc. I'm just going to do this live while we're speaking. I'll just pop it on. Let me just see if I pop it onto a note, if it works or not. No. Okay, hang on a sec. Let me just see if I could right click. Sometimes right click works better. Yep. Okay, right click. So sometimes if you copy and paste, it doesn't work. But if you right click on the copied stuff that so Control A and then right click copy, it works a lot better than just Control C sometimes, as another tip. And I've got all of that stuff. Let me just double check Let me quickly just double check. Yes, every last little linking bit that was in that GPT, I've copied it into a note so that if it seemed like it hung and stopped, instead of you having to do that whole thing again, imagine, it has happened to me before, hence me knowing this, right? Don't worry, just do that. I just copied it, put it onto a note, and then what you could do is just get that. So if the GPT just went and closed, because it does, right? You don't have to start all over again. So yeah, that's probably not a bad tip to do if you're ever like doing this big thing. It's like saving, you know, just in case. Yeah, anyway, I will continue. Okay, guys, so see how it updates your saved memory. So basically it's going to, every time I bring an idea, it's going to start by giving me 3 to 5 sharp strategic questions or counter angles to pressure test it before we build anything. Ready when you are. Okay, so that is basically what I'm going to teach you in this video. I think that's enough for you to get going on. If you want the rest of this, then there'll most likely be a part 2, and that will be the next part of what you then can do with it. But I think that's enough for now. I think that's enough for you to get on with, because this is going to be life-changing for you if you are really still trying to work out how to make an online income and all of that sort of stuff, and you just want help. Then by the time you see this video, you will be able to get into my funnel, which we've created thanks to GPT today. I have complete clarity on how I'm going to help the women who are my perfect customer. And I believe most likely you are watching. That's you. And if that is you, then yeah, I'm here to help, and I can't wait to help you. See you very soon. I'm Kirsty, and I am extremely grateful that you watched this long, but I'm also extremely clear on knowing that you can have a very strong online income. So don't give up. Okay, have a beautiful evening or day. Bye.